You're listening to the Blush and Burn Books podcast,
where two sisters read anything from slow burns to heart-pounding spice. I'm Laura.
And I'm Annie. Grab your favorite drink and let's get bookish.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Blush and Burn Books podcast. I'm Laura Eakin.
And I'm Annie Baxter.
And we're so excited to have Cortney Winn on with us today.
We're pumped.
Hi.
Yes.
We're so excited about this book that you have coming out. This was indie published, went trad, Vesselless, and I am still in the middle of reading it. I ended up having massive headaches, but Annie has finished it, and it has become one of her favorites.
Top. This will be in my top reads for this year, 100% hands down. I am going to be telling I've already told 3 people. I finished it just 2 days ago, and I was like texting people like, hey, this is coming out on this day, you need to read it. Like, hey, this is coming out. I told my mom, I'm like, hey, this book is coming out. She's like, well, how do I get a hold of it? And I'm like, you can't yet. It's not out. Just give it a couple weeks. And luckily you are local, that you're going to be doing a release party that me and Laura are going to be going to. We've invited a bunch of people to it, so we're going to see you then.
I'm so excited.
That is going to be. Is it on? It's actually on release day, correct?
It's on release day. At the Book Box in Draper, Utah.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
I'm excited.
So nervous.
Are you?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I've never had a release party before.
True that.
But yeah, it makes me feel less nervous to know you guys are gonna be there. So I'm excited to see you guys.
We're so excited to get to see you there and to celebrate with you for this big release, because it already has impacted us so much. We want everybody to know that. We will be recommending this from the rooftops for everyone and anyone to hear. I'll get a megaphone if I have to, and I'll bring it to the book box and like yell at everybody walking by. You need this book.
You need this book.
Because it's so fantastic. But before we jump into Vesselless, let's talk about what reading was like for you as a kid and what writing was like for you as a kid, because I feel that everybody has an origin story, and I would love to learn more about yours.
Okay, so my origin story actually started with Twilight.
Hands down. Like, come on. Like, how could it not? If your origin story doesn't start with Twilight, I'm like, where have you been? And I think it's for any age, right?
Absolutely.
Like any age.
It hit me right in like the 8th grade. So I was like prime target audience for Twilight. I mean, I think I read like Eragon around that time, and I loved Eragon, but the series wasn't complete yet. And then the Pretties, I remember reading like
the Uglies.
Yeah, the Uglies, the Pretties, and then something else. And so those were kind of the books that really got me into reading. I didn't know that I liked reading until like I was sitting in the same chair for 48 hours just binging the Twilight series. And then writing, you know, like life just got in the way, like, and I didn't really give up books, but I just stopped reading for a long time. Like, I don't know if you guys had similar experiences, but I got married and was working, and reading wasn't really in my life anymore. And then I had kids, and
it throws a wrench in any plan that you possibly thought you had. What you thought life was going to be or what it was like is completely thrown out the window, and you start from ground one again and create a new plan.
And you just get thrown in this, at least for me, this dark hole where like people are around you, but you feel so alone because like you just, I don't know. I struggled with postpartum anxiety and depression and you know, like no sleep whatsoever. And so I began audiobooks again. And that was really what threw me back into the book space, and I read Serpent and Dove. That one was one that got me back in, and I listened to Aragon for a second time, and so that was my reading origin, and then it just took off from there, and it hasn't stopped. But for writing, I remember putting together this like bucket list of things because I felt like there was something that I wanted to do with my life. You know, I wanted to be a mom and all that, but like as far as a creative, and like on this bucket list, I have like learn a different language and paint a painting and all these things. And one of them was write a book. And so like I just dumb Cortney knew nothing about writing. I mean, like I'd always been good at English, and that was like my strong point in school. But as far as writing a book, I'd never sat down and did it. But then I put it on that bucket list, and I was like,
I just think this is crazy. Like, I'm listening to you talk, and I'm just like, I mean, first of all, the structure of a story and like an like a whole plot arc and like everything like that, like to me is like so complicated that when people are like, I just sat down and wrote, I'm like, I don't understand what you're saying. Like, I'm a reader, so like I don't understand. Like I have so much respect for like that other side because I am like a consumer. I'm not a writer. I am a consumer. So just hearing you say that is like so cool that you're just like capable to like buckle down and actually like do that.
yeah, it's hard. Like staring at a blank page definitely is a mountain to climb, but um yeah, I like it was just on my bucket list, and I was like, even if it's the worst book ever, I just want to say that wrote a book. I googled how many words are in a novel, and it like literally this is what
That's
it is.
awesome.
Googled how many words are in a novel, and it said 80,000. So I was like, that's my goal. 80,000
Okay.
words. Doesn't have to be good. Doesn't, no, no, no. So I wrote, it was my first manuscript, and it wasn't Vesselless. It was, um, it's called Embers of the Phoenix, and it was kind of like a sci-fi type of book. But that's where I knew as soon as I wrote that I wanted to be in this space, and I
That
wanted
was
to
it.
learn and grow. Yeah, like it was a terrible book. But it was the launch pad of I was like, I want to be here. I want to learn how to do this. I want to do it. And so I realized like all of the writing community at that time was on Twitter, and it was actually Twitter back then.
Really?
Yes, I happened to find, I just lucked into this writing group that was a really good writing group. And we passed critiques back and forth. And there was some that were getting picked up by agents, and there was some that were getting trad deals. And it was a very I don't want to say high quality writing group, but everyone in it was very serious, had a lot of experience in like the industry and with book cons and authors and agents and everything. And so I felt like I lucked into this group, and they really helped me grow. Um, and so I worked with them for a while, and then I started writing Vesselless. Um, and yeah, I guess that was my origin story.
So what was the initial spark for Vesselless? Like, what were you doing? What was going on where you were like, this story, this is what it is. This is what's next.
It was the initial spark came from Serpent and Dove, and it was just that witchy magic kind of vibe, I guess. The enemies to lovers, I mean, Vesselless is nothing like Serpent and Dove, but that was where the initial spark came. I began writing 4 stories that were like linear, all in the same, like they were going to be in multiple realms. So,
Oh
and
my
like I
gosh.
know you hear me talking about the realms, they're just completely different, like magical worlds. Like one has like city, and it's like more advanced, and another one is like a jungle world. Like they're completely different worlds. And so I had stories going in 4 different worlds.
Wow.
And I gravitated to Nazara and Dagon, and I knew my word count could not fit all 4 stories. So I chose them. I cut out everything else, and I ran with their story first.
That's amazing.
And we're all happy about that.
Absolutely.
Because I mean, if we can talk about Nazara for just a quick second, like, she is like this. Okay, I have a love of strong females. I'm sure most other people do as well. But there's just something about, she's so complex in a way that she's like, she has the ability to be soft and sweet, right? Because she loves her subjects and she cares about her
Isabel?
Yeah, Isabel.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. Yes. So she has a heart and she cares, but she also has this like really hard, tough side because she's seen pain and she's had heartache, and but yet she's still like very capable of being strong, and she's capable of dealing with um darkness, right? And so it's really cool when you have a female character who's capable of seeing the light through the dark. And she's just such a cool FMC that I just really, really like resonated with her. And I think that you're going to find a lot of other females who are going to resonate with her too. Because when I read, I feel like I read to want to be that character, right? Like you want to, the whole idea is to be like, yes, that, like you pull those aspects of those female characters and you're like, yes, like that is awesome. Like that's what you want to be, you know? And I just think you wrote Nazara so fantastic. She's probably going to be up there in my top FMCs for sure.
Well, thank you. She was actually one of the hardest characters for me to write personally. In my first draft of her, she didn't even know how to use a dagger. And she morphed into what she was after multiple drafts. And Leha, actually, I created Leha to break up, because at first Nazara was the one that like cared about the dresses and the fashions, and
Yeah.
it was like that it doesn't fit the, like the plot. Like she can't have all, that side to her really,
Yeah.
because it just doesn't fit. And so I'm like, I'll create someone else to have that, so she's still wearing, like she still has the fashion and the stuff that I wanted her to have, but it's not her that's doing it. So I don't know
Yeah,
if
but
that's
they're so opposites that they work. That's like the magic of the two of them. It's like they're so opposite, but yet they like work so well.
Absolutely, they do. Once you started writing Nazara, how important was it to make her be a strong, independent person with softness?
I think to have the end scene work, she had to be that person. Like she
Yeah.
had to be selfless. She had to be brave. She had to recognize the darkness that was there. She had to be all of that for that scene to make sense for her character, you know. And
Gotcha.
so in writing, I mean, that end scene was the very first scene that I had for the book. I wrote the whole book to make that end scene work. So I wrote backwards. Does that make sense?
Dude, that's hard.
No, I like that though, because I think that that's like when you have like an end goal, like that's, I mean, that's how we attempt to live life in general, right? Like we create the goal and then we're trying to work to get there. So I think like I love when people have an ending. um Laura will know this. I have a pet peeve. um she knows. I'm not a fan when the book is so good and the ending just doesn't quite get there, because I feel
rushed.
like some people start to write their books and then they don't know how to end it, right? It's like they've written this great book, and then we get to the end and it's like it doesn't quite hit or deliver the way it needs to, and then it makes everything else that happened before it not quite as like impactful, you know? So I love when you already have like a goal at the end and then everything kind of like pulls in, and the ending of Vesselless is like fantastic, and it gets you so excited for the next one. Like you just know that the world is going to get is going to is going to grow, and you're going to learn a whole new element. And I'm so, this is what I hate about arcs, okay? Hate it. Hate it. I have to fucking wait now. I don't know what rating we're doing this podcast. You can
18
bleep
plus
me
now.
out, Laura.
It's 18 plus now.
You can bleep me out. It's fine. But now I gotta wait a whole nother year just to get to that. And I'm like, oh. But
I feel so bad because people have already been waiting a year for just the physical copies to come out. And my heart like breaks because that came out last year on Kindle Unlimited, and then everything happened, and
now it's another year. So those who read your indie one is like, okay, 2 years for the next one.
So you're kind of playing the waiting game a little bit.
Yeah, it's really interesting, and I'm one of those people that like I struggle to keep Christmas gifts like hidden until Christmas. I struggle to wait at all for anything, and so this has been a growing experience for me for sure.
Well, we've learned this about authors in general is they're like, you have to be the best secret keeper. And it is the hardest thing to do because you just want to be like telling the world, oh my gosh, you guys, I just had this scene pop into my head, or I just had this happen, or whatever the case may be. But you've really had to play you've had to play your cards really close to your chest for this.
Yeah, well, it's hard because I mean, when you're marketing online, I mean, you're marketing as an enemies to lovers. That's a spoiler in of itself, you know. And so it's like, how much do you have to say to like get interest and to get people on board without spoiling? And so like, I actually met with my publisher last week, and I talked to them and I was like, people read this last year and they are waiting for anything that I can give them. And so they're like, you can put teasers, you can do whatever you want on your page, we will support you and stuff. So then
oh awesome
I posted a teaser art for book 2, and I was dumbfounded at how many people thought it was for book 1.
Really?
And I was just like, I guess I'll just let them think that is book 1. And even though I was just, so I guess I don't know, maybe
do you just sit there and you go dun dun dun, little do you know?
I almost didn't post it because I went back and forth so much because, you know, I just told you I can't keep Christmas gifts. I can't nothing.
Seriously.
So like I had this art from Avondale and I was just in love with it. Like it's posted on my board as I write book 2. Like it is my muse, I guess, if you want to say that.
Tell us a little bit about that, maybe. Like, what's that like trying to find an artist and art for indie versus like trad? How does that work for you? Did they take a lot of the reins of that, or do you still get to kind of hold some of the reins for like the art and stuff that goes along with it?
So any art that I want to commission by myself, like for me, for my table, for whatever on the side, I can do. As far as what goes in my books, that is 100% what the publisher picks and chooses. Like special editions, that is totally up to the book box or publisher or whatever. So as far as marketing and art prints and posting on my page, I can commission whoever I want to do art. And cool. So that is the same.
Yeah, but it helps give you a little bit of freedom and maybe keep a little bit of control, like, just, I would think it would be hard kind of giving up some of the reins of going from indie to trad, just uh because they have your baby. You know what I mean? Like, they're taking your baby, and they can do what they need to with it, And so um I think that would be difficult.
Yeah, it's I think there's like really good things about both ways. Like indie, obviously you have the full reins, but in some instances it feels like decision paralysis. Like you can literally do
Totally.
and say and post whatever you want, and so it can be bad on that end where it's like you almost have too many decisions to make. Um,
Totally.
and then on the other end, it's really nice that that all of the office work or like the timeline and printing and formatting and all that is going to be taken care of. But on this end, it's like the the waiting. That is, I guess, probably my two hardest things about both sides.
I feel like
But
the waiting would be so excruciating.
it
Being like,
it's
because they run on corporate timelines, right? And you're just like sitting here like, I sent an email like a week ago. Where are we at? What is the process? Like, because
Totally.
and they're printing on a bigger scale versus the like what I anticipate a smaller scale would be for an indie where it's like, okay, we're just doing small batches as they come in. KDP handles that. But then like they're going wide scale. So it's like, okay, what's our timelines
Totally.
here? How are things looking? And that kind of process.
Yeah, exactly. Like they have to reserve the printer. So like it's not just let's print these books. It's like no, we have to schedule 6 months out for the printer type of thing. And um to once I turn in the manuscript, it takes about a year to produce it and have it. So it's a lot that goes into it. And it's not just like us sitting making everyone wait. It's just like that's how
Yeah.
long it takes traditionally to get a book out. And so
So, okay, so you've got this world. Are you going to just kind of focus on this and kind of stay like right in this world you've created in this lane, or are you going to do some other little things like on the side? Like, do you think you'll ever try and make maybe a couple little like other things on the side that you'll do indie again, or do you think that this is kind of where you like to this is like your sweet spot?
I don't know. And that's kind of a big question that's just been on my mind lately. I mean, Harper Voyager bought 2 books. So I have to, I did Vesselless through them, and now I'm going to have to do book 2 through them. And once that's through, our contract is pretty much full. I will be writing more books in the series, but they're not under contract yet. They'll have to be like renegotiated and stuff.
Right. Right.
But like other countries bought the whole series. And so I'm in a
Cool.
weird spot that way. So, yes, I will be writing the whole series for this one. I don't know what will go on as far as um, contracts go. I do have an idea for a standalone that I really want to write. I might interject in the series, um, but we haven't made any solid decisions yet. And I guess we're gonna see how book 2 goes and kind of go from there.
So
I
how
like
many?
that when you do something a little different too. Like, throw a little something in there that's a little different, like a little
I
standalone.
I'm really excited for the one that I have swirling in my head, and I need to get it out. So, yeah. How many? And Laurie asked how many books. So
Yeah. So how many books are projected then for this series?
4 and a novella. That's that's what Spain bought, 4 and a novella. So I will be writing at least 4 and a novella.
And will those
Cool.
stay as Nazara and Dagon's point of view for all 4 of those?
No.
No.
Good
Oh,
question, Laura. Good question. Good
we could
one.
be swapping. Ooh, I'm
Are
so
we
excited.
doing new? Are we doing more POV couples? Or are we just throwing in a couple extra like POVs?
I don't know. Do you guys really want the answer?
Yeah, I want the answer.
Yeah, we do. How much can you give us?
I can handle a little bit of spoiler.
Yes, more couples. And also other POVs. Like book 2 has Lo in it. And I
absolutely
am in
yes
love with Lo.
Love's
I
great.
thank her mind all day because she is. I love Lo.
Because
Oh
she's
my
got
gosh,
a
she's
little
fantastic.
sass to her. While we're talking about Lo, I love this idea of putting little clips of her journal at the beginning of the chapters.
I'm loving it.
Because the cool thing is like they help they keep the story moving. You kind of get these little weird flashbacks with her, but like it helps give insight into Dagon a little bit, right? Like it helps give you a little bit more insight into him, and like, oh, I don't want to give spoilers, but like what his previous like life had looked like, right? And it helps really give you like more insight into him, and I think it helps create like more depth in his character, you know? It gives him a little bit more insight into him.
That was the whole reason I created Lo's journals, was because I was like, well, how is Nazara realistically going to fall for him if she doesn't know who he is as a spirit? Like, you know, he's just this voice that she can hear and kind of see. So that was the reason I put Lo's journals in there, is so that she could have some basis to grow feelings for him without directly growing for him. So
well, and we learn about Lo.
Cunning. I love Lo's cunning. The cunning in that first page, oh my gosh, I did not want to stop reading at that moment.
I know. So
I was
fantastic.
like, this is fantastic. And then like Nazara panics. The panic. I felt it. Oh my gosh, it was fantastic.
Yep.
I think Lo is my favorite character to write. I laugh every time I reread her new chapters. And I'm like, maybe I'm the only one that thinks she's so
no.
funny.
No. She is going to be a great FMC. She's going to be so great.
I'm so excited for her chapters. Okay,
so much
I'm
fun.
so excited.
You can do so much with her. Oh yeah. She'll be so great.
Yeah, I'm really excited for her. So.
Okay, I am too.
I'm just sitting over here like chomping at the bit.
I know.
So I need more of her. I need more of her.
I literally cannot wait, and it's painful because, like I said, like the first few chapters of book 2 are just gonna like rip the world wide open. Like you're gonna be like,
it's my favorite.
Plot twist after plot twist, like boom, boom,
let's
boom.
do it. I'm here for it.
I'm a big fan of book 2s, and this is why you can do so much with a book 2. Because in my opinion, most of the time when you do a series, like you have your book 1, you have your, it's your beginning, and then your world grows, right? And then you wrap it back up at the end. And I love watching the worlds grow. Like that's my favorite part of book 2, is because you always get into something and you just get so much more information. The world gets bigger. You start to see things from different perspectives because you're in different places. And I love book 2s. I love book 1s because they set the groundwork. They give you the foundation. So much world building. By the way, I will throw out there, you did fantastic world building in this. It was like you did not info dump. It was done gradually, and I just felt it was done so naturally, which is so hard to do because there is a lot of, you do have a lot of things like we have different gods, right? We have to learn about what vessels are. We have to learn about what essences are. We have to learn what, you know, these spirits are. There are elements into it, and I just think you did it really, really organically, which I think is why this book is so good, because it paces and brings in information like so well.
Yeah, and the way that you put the information at the top of a chapter to give like a description of like the shield, and then you gave out the description, and I was like, that helped so much without having to info dump, like Annie said. Like it made it feel so natural, and I loved it.
Yeah, it did. It really did.
Oh yeah, like the definition of those early definitions of vessels and shields and stuff. I had one editor kind of make a comment about them, like, why don't you just like work it into the story? And I'm like, I feel like it will slow it down so much when literally all you need to know is just this little tidbit, and I can just put it up at the top. And yeah, and
you needed to know what they were though, because she has this scene with her father later on where, you know, he's literally saying like, no, you have to have this. She needs Leah, like this putting the ring on and do like, you really needed to have the information there for all of that to happen. So you, at least maybe you didn't understand the whole story or the whole reason why, but I think you needed to know that information.
And I feel like it helped too, because it made it so that you weren't pulled out of the story by her asking questions, or like, and like, I feel like sometimes it feels like an awkward info dump to fill it in. And I only feel like it would have been necessary if she was new to this magic system, if she was new to this world as a whole, where she could ask the questions instead of you giving that little tidbit at the top being like, this is a vessel and this is what a shield is and this is how it works. And it was literally just like simple definition, what it means, and like how it was used in like a, you know, I don't think you did the use as a sentence, but it gave like the little examples, and I was like, oh yeah, okay, got it. And it didn't pull me out because Nazara is a scholar.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. I had to like think about that sentence. Because like you know, you have those fantasies where they are like thrust into this whole new world, and so all of this information that they're learning and asking questions is natural. When you like grow up in the world, you have to like introduce the reader as if the main character has known this their whole life.
Exactly.
So it's weird if Nazara's like, so what's a shield, you know?
Exactly.
And then like you said, with the essences and the gods and everything, that one was hard for me to balance too, because, you know, I told you there's multiple worlds in this story, and every world has its own belief system and its own culture, and they call things different names, you know, like the tribal communities might call them gods.
Exactly.
And the AWAMs might call them essences. You know, they're the same thing. But it's like, how realistic do you want them to be? Because in the real world, no two cultures call a god the same thing. They have different names.
I love that.
And so I struggled with trying to make it simple to read and then also authentic to what cultures do.
Right. How do we say what Nightlight is?
He's a Jack Selly.
Oh, a Jack Selly. Okay, cool. I loved that. I liked him actually. I kind of hope he gets a POV maybe. I really liked him a lot. Okay. He was a nice, big, strong, strapping warrior. He's got marks on his skin, and he's got some pent up angst inside of him that I would like to see come out. And
I'm really excited.
I would enjoy to see that. Without blushing, I would really like to see that.
There will be more Jack Sellys.
Okay, fantastic.
I love this.
You'll get there, Laura. It's beautiful.
I love that
she's not there yet, but she will get there. It's fantastic.
I'm so excited.
He's got some angst in there that he needs to find someone. I know. No spoilers. No spoilers.
I'm not saying anything.
Okay.
Now you got my brain over here going.
It's fine. I've made my wishes known. We're good.
So I want to take a step back for just 2 seconds because we squirrel. Indy to Trad. We talked about this a little bit, but when Annie and I met you in person, so we've been like friends on social media for a little bit, but we've actually got a chance to meet you in person, not even in our own state for Pete's sakes. But we were at the Enemies and Lovers event in Arizona by Tea and Tropes. When we got the opportunity to talk to you, we're going to talk about your table and the whole experience of this, like the event. But we were saying how we were going to read your indie edition, and you said, well,
wait.
There's a new plot point in the new one, so you can read that, but you'll be lost by the time you read book 2. So explain to us how that process went for going from your indie edition to your trad edition, and then let's talk a little bit about the Tea and Tropes event.
Okay. Yeah, so when I was indie, I released Vesselless on Kindle Unlimited. I'm sure you've all heard that origin story, how I released it pretty quick and at last minute. Anyways, but I planned to release Mazar's novella after that revealed a plot line about Nizara that was vital to know before book 2. And when I was picked up by Harper Voyager, they wanted to go straight into book 2. And so for me to pick up that plot line that I really wanted to run with in book 2, I had to weave it in to book 1. And that was, like I mentioned before, it was Nizara's power. In the indie version, you know that she has this big power, but it's not as clear that it's a bad power. It's dark, and it is it takes lives and energy, and it's in the indie version it's more glazed over, I guess, and it's her not thinking about it, and it's her not acknowledging how dark it is. And so in Mazar's novella that I had been planning, we were going to find that out, that Nizara had been a little bit of unreliable narrator in regards to what her power actually was. So when we faced edits, I was like, I'm going to have to weave this in so we can hop right into book 2 and the plot twist that I had for book 2.
So how do you feel about the outcome of book 1 and book 2? Or not book 2, sorry. The indie and the trad. Like the way that they both came out.
Like just me personally?
Yeah.
I felt like, so for the trad version, there's about 8,000 more words that I added.
Oh my gosh.
To it, and it was deeper world building. And so I feel like you get a deeper story in the trad version. The indie version, I would say, probably was a little bit faster paced because there wasn't that additional deeper world building. Does that make sense? Like in the indie version, I just had cars. Like they weren't gem powered cars. Like they were called just cars. And like I had said before, they originally came from this other world, you know, and you have like things crossing over into these other realms that shouldn't belong there. And without the context of those other 4 stories that I had written before, that I had told you about earlier, they felt really out of place, and really out of place even from a reader standpoint, because they weren't really explained. So in the trad version, it's more like explained, I guess.
I could see how that could like totally help with the whole gem cars, because I think they do add elements to the world. Like they do help build the world, and kind of even like a visual of it is really, really cool. I love the gem cars. I thought they were really cool.
So I agree.
I could see how that could help with the like in the world building for sure.
Yeah, and yeah, like I said, my indie version, did you guys ever hear the reason that I posted it on Kindle Unlimited in the first place?
No.
I was in the Quarry Trenches and had a post on TikTok go viral about the book, and I had an agent slide into my emails and say, hey, I saw your post on TikTok, I loved it, you should send me your manuscript. And I was like, heck yeah, you know. So okay. I sent her my full manuscript, and then after I'd already sent it, I could not find her name anywhere. like not on Publishers Marketplace, not on Query Tracker, Twitter, TikTok, nothing except like they had their website set up, and it was a very simple, bare website. And I was like, in my head, I'm like,
crap.
I was like, why would someone want to take a manuscript? That's all she wanted was the manuscript. And all I could come up with was like, they're either going to post it on Kindle Unlimited under a new name, or they're going to like feed it to like AI. That was the only two scenarios that I came up with. So I was like terrified and not really thinking clearly at this point. And I just hit send on Kindle Unlimited. Like it had gone through beta readers and stuff, but mentally I was not prepared to like just hit send it with a few hours of a decision. So yeah, I never really got.
Yeah, but I feel like that's a little bit of like an impossible situation though, because it's like
you don't know what's going to happen. It's so
no,
up
you
in
don't
the
know
air.
what's going to happen, and it's so you don't want someone stealing your work.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like I know like the law, it technically belongs to me no matter what, but you'd have to go to court. Like I'm saying, I just can't do it, and I just have a lot of anxiety in a general day, and so this was like,
we understand that.
I can't function. So I just hit send, and it ended up being that agent was real. It wasn't a scam. She was just in between agencies, and that's why she's on Publishers Marketplace and all the places now, and I feel terrible. I thought she was a scam, but that was
but I feel like if they don't give you like their real credentials though, like
yeah, like she was on LinkedIn, but she said that she'd come from this other agency, and before I made this decision, I emailed the owner of that agency, and I said, hey, have you heard of this person? She says she used to work for you. And the owner replied that she'd never heard of her. And so that was
that would fuel my decision though too. Like that honestly would be like, yeah, no, we're publishing this. Just get it out there, get it done. If you're confident in your edits, just being like, I can make adjustments as needed if it comes down to it, or I can pull it and then redo it, whatever the case may be. But like just getting it out there, I think I would probably make the same decision. As I am currently writing a book, but it's not anywhere near. It's going to be like one of those things that takes another 5 years because I like being a reader, and I can't be a reader and a writer at the same time. So for me, I think that I would have made that knee-jerk reaction too, just to be like, you know what? Let's just not make it a thing. Let's just handle this.
I almost just posted it on my website for free, like, and not put it on Kindle Unlimited because I was convinced.
Oh, I'm so glad you didn't.
Convinced it was a scam, and it turned out. I mean, she did work for that agency, but she was an assistant. Like, she was working under a senior agent, and that senior agent had hired her as a personal assistant. So that's why the owner didn't know her name, because it was such a strange thing. And I feel so bad that it worked out the way it did.
Yeah, but maybe sometimes I'm a big believer that things work out the way they're supposed to, like in general. So maybe that was just the way it was like supposed to work out and like happen. Do you know what I mean? I don't know.
I feel like it had to, because I could not make up that, like, the whole story if I tried. It was insane, and this book has taken years off my life because of it.
Oh, I feel it. I believe it.
It's finally, I mean, I don't want to jinx myself, but everything's smoothed out. We're on like a timeline. I know what I'm doing. I have my agent and publisher, and yeah, so I believe what you said, Annie, that everything works out like it should. So
yeah, I think so too.
I think it's
fantastic. Well, we're really excited to meet you in a couple of weeks. Like, we're really pumped. We have a handful of girls that are coming with us. We're excited, especially that will be really close to me. It's just down the street.
Really?
And yeah, yep.
It's not far for either of us.
Yeah, so it's really nice, and I think the book box is going to be a great place for you to have your release party. They have a great space set up, and I'm sure it will be a hopping place to be that night.
Oh, for sure.
Thank you.
Definitely
Did
be
you
there
Are
want to?
early.
they letting them out at 10? Are we getting them at 10, or do we need to wait till midnight?
No, technically they'll be released by the time we're
No,
there.
they'll be released that morning. So like,
Oh, perfect.
yeah,
Oh
they'll
yeah,
have.
because it's going to be on Tuesday night, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not Monday. Okay,
Yeah,
that's right.
but Laura, did you want to talk about teen tropes?
Yes, the tea and tropes. So we met you at Tea and Tropes, and you had been picked up by your publisher, and you were kind of in this like limbo. You have a table, you're sitting, you're just like hanging out. People are like, well, where are your books? And you're like, oh, hey, well, here's the thing.
I was the weirdest table at that event, I will tell you. The author without books. It was like, yeah, a unicorn, I guess. Yeah, so I booked that event way before I had an agent or a publishing deal or anything, and I was like, I will for sure have books out by then because it was like a year out from when I booked it. And I didn't have books for the event, and I couldn't cancel the event or refund my plane ticket or hotel. But the publisher, like, we tried to get books there, it just didn't. It was too early. Like, it was still in, I think, formatting or like the final. We missed it by a few weeks.
Oh,
Yeah. So I did not have books at my table, and it was so hard because people would come up to my table, and they're like, "So what are you? What do you have?" And
what do you have?
it was like diet table pong.
Yeah,
You want
Diet Coke,
table
Pong.
Well, yeah,
Is
that was kind of a joke that we did not plan on. One of the PAs of another author messaged me before the event, and she said, "I'm bringing you." She took a picture of limes and Diet Coke cans, and she's like, "I'm bringing you these." And then I can't remember who suggested it first or what, but I was like, "Are we gonna play like pong with it?" And she goes, "Oh yes, we are. It's on." And so that's it. I mean, it was a joke at first, but then all of a sudden there was cups and ping pong balls at my table and a lot of Diet Coke. Like, I had to leave Diet Coke at the hotel because my suitcase would be too heavy to take
oh
on
my
the plane.
gosh. That's amazing though. And you're very, if anybody follows you on social media, they will know that Diet Coke is like your go to. It's always with you, it's in hand, and I absolutely love it.
Listen. I feel like it's borderline a Utah thing,
It
if
is.
I'm being completely honest. Like, let's just be very honest. It is like soda and Diet Coke go hand in hand. You know, the dirty Diet Coke was like the thing, you
Well,
know?
and back, it used to be Diet Coke with lime. Like they literally sold it in the can as a Diet Coke with
True.
lime in it. So it's not like
True.
you had to add the lime in there. Do you remember that?
I remember them releasing like you know how they had come out with different flavors. There's one with lime, but I like the fresh lime better.
I do too.
But yeah,
I'm a
it
fan.
is totally a Utah thing, and I feel
Utah
like
thing?
so Utah when I post my Diet Coke. But no one else really gets it because they don't have a swig in their state.
They don't get it. They don't get it.
They
They
don't
don't
get
get
it.
it.
If you guys don't have a soda shop in your state, I'm so sorry. We have one every corner.
Every corner.
They
Listen,
don't though. Like they're like, well, what do you like? They have flavors that you put. Like, I've had
yes.
this conversation with multiple people out of state, and they do not understand that you can put like different flavors in your soda drinks.
It's
I
so
just got
crazy
a
to me.
package this morning that I ordered on Amazon that is like, I've got peach, raspberry, strawberry, and vanilla that came in a pack because me and Laura are we're having I'm having book club at my house this week. So I'm doing
A dirty
we
soda bar.
read We read Praise, and so we're going to be having a very fun party, and I needed flavors because we're doing dirty sodas.
We're dirty in Utah.
Yeah, we are.
We are.
It just makes me laugh though, because it has become such a Utah staple. And you're hard pressed to truly find this in other states. I think maybe Arizona, like surrounding ones a little bit, but not much. And we're now to a point where we're adding flavors in our gas stations. You can select the one you want with a flavor and go. And it just kills me when you go out of state and nobody knows what you're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah, my husband was like, maybe you should tone it down on the Diet Coke posts.
Hello.
Well, he wasn't like saying judging it. He's like,
that's like a part of me, okay? My
daily
run
because I always have it.
Is important.
It is.
My daily run to Maverick is important in my mug. And so Maverick now has the blackberry Dr. Pepper in the fountain. And I love Dr. Pepper. So I half fill it with 0 Dr. Pepper. And then I fill the rest of it with my blackberry. And it is a perfect combination of happiness in a cup.
Yep, I totally believe it is a Utah thing, and I'm here for it.
Same.
Basic white Utah girl.
We're basic. It's fine.
It's fine.
In my
reading tastes are not.
With my Stanley mug, it's fine.
Yeah, and our hydro jugs.
Yeah.
Life.
Exactly.
Comfort cup. You have to have it in your comfort cup.
Gotta have your comfort cup. It's important.
I love it. So, Cortney, so excited for this release. And I want to shout this from the rooftop that everybody needs to get their hands on this book. So, for those that want to find you on social media, where is the best place for them to do so?
Instagram is where I'm probably the most active, and then my website. So my tag is just Cortney L. Winn, and there's no U in my name. So yeah.
I love it. And we'll have all that tagged down below in the show notes. Cortney, we're so excited to see you very soon. Excited. Everybody watch out for Vesselless. It will be hitting all of the shelves very soon. And we will be seeing you guys all later. That's it for today's episode on the Blush and Burn Books podcast, where we spread those pages and stir up all the feels. We hope you're walking away with a new book for your TBR, a smile, and maybe a little blush. Don't forget to subscribe, leave us a review, and share this episode with your fellow book lovers. You can find us on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube for even more bookish fun. Until next time, keep those pages turning and stay bookish.